I've received this video by email at 7 o'clock this morning. This is groundbreaking, so I decided to share it with you. So let's begin.
So I want to welcome you here to our 7K Metals team meeting and give you an idea of the big picture, give you an idea of what you have in your hands. The company is a little less than 3 years old right now. We started with a comp plan that basically you could only make, $1,000 a week. And they've improved it several times in this quest to where we are today. And you can actually make on one business center up to $12,500 a week. Now, that's pretty good income. If you start thinking about that, that's really good income. And so if ever you wanted to become a multimillionaire, if you ever had a dream of that, you literally have good odds at doing that because you're with a company that's totally debt-free, that's in gold and silver, and is totally changing two industries. So I'm sure you've watched the overview of the wealth strategies, and it just makes good plain sense, doesn't it? It makes plain sense. I mean, everybody's been saving the wrong thing for all the years except the super wealthy, the banks, and countries. They all say gold and silver. So that gives us a clue. We as ordinary, everyday people need to have some gold and silver. If not to do anything but give us some financial insurance. That's called financial preservation, insurance. We all buy automobile insurance, right? So I'm not going to give you another presentation. If you aren't sold on 7K right now, and you aren't sold out like George Donaldson, and you're a 7K lifer, like me too, then you need to go back and re-look at that wealth strategies presentation until you understand it. Because you're part of a mission. You're not just part of a place that you can make a little extra income. You're part of a mission of helping people change their lives financially, generationally, forever. Now that's pretty powerful. And just think, America, literally people in America, they don't even know what poor is. Now I know a lot of people think they're poor, and they think they're poor, but they've just never been around the world. This company is going to change dynamics around the world. And it started right here. And as this company spreads around the world over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, you that stick around, you that hang around, you that keep doing the little simple job description I give you, you're the ones that's going to benefit enormously, and you'll see it in the compensation plan as I present it. So let's get right with it. And everybody knows that you were given 3 options to start your membership with. And I gave a presentation. I summarized those in another little video. But you have a $199 membership, and there's 50 points associated with that. Well, I look at that as a person that understands they need to buy gold and silver. They want all the membership benefits, but they don't know about doing the business side. But they want to be a member, okay? And they get all the membership benefits. They get travel benefits. They get to buy gold and silver, no minimums, no maximums, and they get to buy a little bit of gold and silver and put away some ounces of silver and ounces of gold every month instead of those paper dollars that get diluted by the government every time they print up more. Hello. That's a $199 membership. Okay? I also look at it as a person, that really is part of that 44% of America. And they really can't hardly find 2 pennies to scratch together to pay their electric bill the next month. Well, that might be for them, but they've got to have a lot of perseverance, a lot of persistence, and a lot of tenacity to really stick with this and do the business, because you need to stay active. Okay? But so I see that as a possibility, but I look at it as a membership benefit. Now the $359 is the standard plus membership, and you get 6 months of technology credits before you have to start paying for them. So if a person doesn't really believe in themselves at all, they have doubts, then they might want to come in at $359 and give it what I call go to part-time school, and if you like what you see for 6 months, then you hang around, and then you pay a lot more than you would if you'd have started out right for the rest of the year to continue your tuition to do your business. Okay? So what happens to those that drop out? You ever go to a technical school or a craft school or college, and a lot more drop out than finish? Well, they're the dropouts. They won't ever make it. Okay? Yeah, quitters never win. You got to hang in to win. That's just life. In anything you do, you got to hang in. Okay? So I'm going to assume everybody's going to do what I'm recommending, that you start off with the business pack, a total business pack. You get a variety coin, you get a silver bullion coin, you get brochures to do your business, you get some basic business cards, you get every electronic tool, you get your e-commerce site, you get everything you need, and you don't have to worry about paying $10 a month for this or that, and you this and that. You get a total business pack to start your business and get going. Now, where else could you start a business for $500 and you keep your business open every week? You keep the doors open, so instead of paying rent and instead of paying electric bill or gas bill or something like that, that's called expenses to keep your business open. Well, you're going to get a product of your choice, either a MS-70 variety coin at $129 plus your shipping. That's expensive keeping your business open. But look what you get. You get a product of value. You just stick that away, and you're not making a $1.2 million mistake, or bigger with the variety coins, because they're more rare. Well, they come with 15 points. Okay, so memberships comes with points, and your coins you buy of value comes with points. Well, you can buy the States coin. That's the States coin, the MS-70 Eagle, and they're limited production, so you can only get these States coin with the state label on it and the MS-70. You can only get it from 7K, and so you want to get a collection of all 50 states. Now, we've already had 4 states that's been produced, so if you want to get one of the other states, there's a couple of ways to get them, but typically if you want a complete set, you're going to need to get them from somebody that owns them. And I guarantee you they will not sell them for what they bought them for. So, that just tells you value, okay? So 15 points for the Eagle coin. The variety coin, you get 20 points. It's $129. That's the one I think you should be buying, my personal belief. And then if you just love gold, you get the gold option, or the very rare special MS-70 coin, $299. That's 30 points, okay? So you get something of value to keep your business open. So let's speak business. I'm talking business here because we're talking comp plan. I'm not talking to the customers who want to buy. I'm talking about people. How many of you would like to make an extra $500 a month for the rest of your life? That'd be pretty nice to add to retirement, right? Yeah. Well, I'm here to tell you, if you get up to $500 regular a month, you're going to make, Andy, $500 a week. It's just a matter of when. Okay? Now, how many would How many know of a business they can start for $500, keep their door open, get a product of value for $100, $105 a month, and they can make $500 a weekend for the rest of their life? You know of one, Edward? No. Yeah, you do. You just got introduced to it. It's called 7K Metals. And that's why you're in it. Okay? So, how does this work? Okay? It works very simply. You get in, you got your business, you get a tracking center in the computer. Okay? You have a left team and you have a right team. Just like you have a head, that's your business. Your left hand and your right hand, you grab somebody by the head. So you know people. We're using our tools. We tell you how to pique interest, and you get a partner on your left, and you place them on your left, and that's a personally sponsored person on your left, number one. Okay? And you get your first partner on your right, personally sponsored person on the right, number one. Now, you're an associate, and you are qualified to make a $500 cycle check. But if they come in with 150 pack like you did, that's 150 points goes up in your counter. Okay? Right?
Yes.
That's pretty cool, right? Okay, now, we help them get their partner. One on their left, one on their right. They got a counter just like you, but here's what's great about this. Those points also come up to your counter. What if they started the same way you did? Now you got 450 points in your counter, correct? Let's do that over here too. Okay? Now this is that simple, is you help people help people. Now what if during this process one of these people said, oh, well, you run across another one, they just want to be a customer. Okay, well, you have to place them, so you get a customer here, and you place them down there, and that's how many points? 50? Okay, now you got 500 points there, right? Well, what if this person over here, they get a customer, and they're going to place them right there, and now you got what, everybody? 500 on the left and 500 on the right. Hello, $500 back in your pocket. Now, they take that and they subtract 500 from each side, set your counter back to zero, but that's the good news. Because, see, you got a team on the left and a team on the right, and do you not think that person wants to make a $500 check like you did, Jim? Of course. And so now you got 4 people over here and 4 people over here on your left team and right team. So just for illustration purposes, let's assume it stays kind of equal. It really doesn't, but let's just say it does, okay, to understand the comp plan. Now, what do these 4 people need to do? Help their people get 2. What if they're only half as good as you are, preacher? That means they only get 1 this next week, right? So that 1 new one this next week means there's going to be 4 new people come into the team, right? Okay, now you got 8 people in the team on the left side, 4 new ones here, 8 people here. Okay, now if 4 more new people come in, and they all come in with a business pack, $4.99, that's 600 points, isn't it? Isn't that right?
Yes.
That's enough to make another $500 check, isn't it? Well, it's a fortunate thing that the person you sponsored here is an associate. And the person you sponsored here is an associate because they got 1 on their left and 1 on their right. And if you personally sponsored this customer, you got 2 personal people on your left. And 2 personal people, if you sponsored one of these 4 was another customer, and they're your customer, then guess what? You got 2 personally sponsored on your left, 2 personally sponsored on your right. You now are a copper. And if you're a copper, you can cycle 2 times because you meet that requirement of that rank. Now you can make a $1,000 check. But you know, I forgot to tell you about another benefit this company just gave you. Every time you sponsor a person, regardless of the pack that they get, they give you what is called loyalty points. loyalty reward points. Kind of like green stamps, kind of like airline points, kind of. So in addition to your, I don't want to confuse you, okay, but in addition to your commission check points, they're going to give you more points to go in your loyalty rewards bank. So if you sponsored these 4 people, you get 50 points per any one of these membership loyalty points. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 200 in your bank right here. So you got 200 of those in your bank, right? Yeah. So they're going to give you points and loyalty points. They're going to rack up and accumulate. And as long as you stay active, those points will rack up, and then you can convert those points into rare products. They have a whole list of products. Take so many points to get this product, so many points. So that's like gift. It's like earning. How many likes to earn wealth? So we earn checks, we earn money, we get to buy bullion it costs, and we get to earn. They even give us a bonus. That's pretty cool. They give us this is a bonus. Okay. Now, let's say you were not a copper. Let's say you just an associate. Let's just bill you as an associate. Let's forget about ranking up right now. Okay. But I wanted to show you what it means real early to rank up. Okay, if you're just an associate, means you sponsored only one person yourself on the left, one person on the right. Well, you got 600 on the left, 600 on the right. Well, one of these sides, they're going to take 500 off of both sides, but on one side they're going to leave 100, and the other side is going to go to 0, because that 100 extra points you couldn't cycle and make a check with, but they're going to leave you on one side 100, and then they're going to take those 100 points and they're going to add it over here to your bank. So they're going to they're not going in the trash can. They're going to put them in your loyalty rewards so you can convert it into valuable product. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Okay, now here comes the next week. Now, well, we can do this, preacher, in weeks, or we can do this in days. We can do it in months. We can do it in years. I like weeks. Actually, I like days. But I know everybody's not quite as rapid as I was when I was younger, because I actually did it in almost days. I actually did it in weeks. In 12 weeks, I ended up with over 5,000 people on my left and right. That's how I made millions, way back in the 90s. And you can do it too with 7K medals, because this is 15 times easier, 15 times better, and it's got a residual, because the one I did had no residual income. It was just a one-time deal, and you just did it every time, and they zeroed everything out every week. It just went to 0. It didn't matter how many points went up there. It went to 0. Okay, so here we go. You got 8 and 8 on your team now. But preacher, they're only half as good as you, right? Yeah. You got 1 and 1 that first week, but they're only half as good as you. Okay. So they just average 1 new one and adding to their team, right? So that's 8 new people that join your team, right? Now, one person might have got all 8. It doesn't matter who gets them. But it's the law of averages and the law of numbers I know does work. Okay? So you got 16 people to come in, and let's, for easy math, let's kind of just average these things out and say every sale is 100 points. Some are 150, some are 50, some are 100, right? So let's just do easy math. And so that'll be what? 800 new points coming up in your counter, right? Wow, that's 900 points. That's 900 points this next week. Whoa, that's another $500 check. How many did you get? 1 on the left, 1 on your right? That's pretty cool. Now, what are they gonna do? Well, you got 800 here. Now it starts dimming. They're gonna subtract 500 from both sides, right?
400.
Now they're going to leave 400 here because that's your strong side. Okay?
Right.
Now this goes to 0. And the 300 points goes over here to your loyalty bank.
That's 600.
Wow! Man, I definitely got enough money to to convert points into some product. So you don't buy product with points. You convert it. Kind of like you get an upgrade to first class or business class with airline miles. Kind of like you get a free ticket if you save enough. Well, if you save enough of these loyalty points, you can get some really exclusive, valuable, rare coins. That's even better sometimes, huh? If they still got them left. Well, they're going to keep getting more because that's the great thing about 7K. Well, beautiful thing about this, preacher, is you starting off next week with more than you started off this week. Your team grew. I mean, you only got one on the left, one on the right. Right?
Yeah.
Make sure you let everybody know that this thing's working. You get these $500 checks and show off your coins and show how you show how your organization's growing. Well, anyway, these people want to get one of those $500 checks too, right? At least somebody down there does.
Yep.
Okay, now if they're only half as good as you, that's 16 new people joining your team that next week, right? Or next month.
Or next month.
Well, that's 32. Okay? Total on your team, on your left and right. But that's 1,600 points coming up. Now that's 2,000 points right there. And now you got what?
Yeah.
1,600 points. Well, the most you can make is 500 because you're just an associate. Oh, you don't want to just be an associate. You're making $500 a week, every week, or $500 every month. I mean, don't you think you might be able to get somebody else that wants to do this with you?
Well,
Of course you can.
I would think so.
And so you find another partner and you get that other person, your personally sponsored person down here, personally sponsored person here. You now are a copper. And so this week, they're going to only subtract 1,000 points here and 1,000 points here. And 600 are going to go over here. And you get $1,000 check. Whoa! That's pretty cool, right? Now, I propose that you become a bronze before the next week comes. How do you become a bronze? Well, if you have one of your people, anybody you personally sponsored, become a copper like you did, and they would want to because their points are mounting up. If they become a copper and you have 3 personally sponsored people on your left and 3 personally sponsored people on your right, then when you have 32 new sales come in this next week, making you 64 and 64 on your team, but that's 3,200, right? So that'll make that 4,200 on this side, right? And 3,200 on this side, right? But now you're a bronze, so you can cycle how many times?
4.
Yeah, so it comes Saturday at midnight, they do the run, so 4 times 500 is 2,000. Up. Well, you got much more than you need, so they'll subtract 2,000 off this side, leave you with 2,200. And all of this goes away. Right?
Then go down to the loyalty.
All of it, nope, it doesn't go over there.
Oh.
It doesn't go over there. The only thing that goes over there is when you're under what you have. You over your 2,000. Okay, so you don't get loyalty points for that. You got incentive to rank up.
All right.
Okay? And so that sets back to 0, but that's okay. That's okay.
No, it's not.
Oh yeah, it is. Because they start counting over again. And now you got, look at all that team down there. And you only got 3 of them because you're a bronze. Everybody else is down there. You didn't get all that team. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Sometimes, see, you're going to be on the left or right of somebody. So notice you can only place on the left side. So first available spot. First available spot. You can't place that somebody in here. You can't do that. You can only go far left or far right. So it goes there, it just follows like electricity. It goes down there and sees an open hand. Boop, that's where that person gets placed. So when you sponsor a new person, that's where they come in. So in doing that, but you are building business for everybody else. Okay? The reason I want to show you that is, let's say this person right here, okay, that got in to be just getting a coin, a purchaser. They never sponsored anybody on either side, but they had this huge team that developed. Because see, for people to rank up, which I told you about ranking up, they got to place them on their left or their right. So if they want to go rank, they got to place and they got to come down. So we call that a gift from above. A lot of people in this room got a gift from above, right? Okay. So you're in partnership with the people that you're in business with, and that'll happen. Even if you're, somebody just sponsored. Everybody's going to have a left, and everybody's going to have a right. Everybody's going to have a common leg, and everybody's going to have a pay leg. Okay? So this is the pay leg here. This is the common leg here. This is the common leg here. This is the pay legs here. Okay? Now, to this person, this is the common leg, and this is their pay leg. There you go. It's a real simple concept. So get that down pat. Pay leg, common leg. K leg, common leg. Common leg's driving leg. Okay? Now, actually, whichever leg turns out to be the strongest is the driving leg. You'll learn that in just a second. Okay, but let's go, preacher, one more time.
Right.
One more week or one more month. If we do weeks, it's better because they do weekly accounting. Okay? We got now 64 people on each side. And if they just average one new membership as we're growing, right? Because nobody knows about 7K, especially around our areas. Only if you're in Idaho or Montana or Wyoming, somebody might say, "Oh yeah, I heard about that already." Ain't nobody around here going to say it. Okay, so that's 64 new sales coming in, right? 64 means 6,400 points, right? That's 86. That's 8,600 points. Points over here are dollars. Okay? Now, on this side, 64 times 100 is 6,400, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, you're a bronze. Most you can make is $2,000. That's 4 cycles, right? So they're going to subtract 2,000 over here, leave you with 66. Everything's going to go away over here. And you get a $2,000 check. Now, here, let me show you the benefit of this company versus everybody else. Everybody else zeroed both sides when you got a check.
That's right.
So don't even dare complain that you're losing something. Because, see, this company is trying to maximize the payout to you and me. They're trying to keep the payout somewhere in the maximum 65%. No company in network marketing history has ever paid out more than 38.5%. No company. Well, any company that's going to pay out to you and me over 50%, hallelujah, brother. You just tell me how this thing works, okay? You just tell me how this thing works. You need to modify it a little bit, that's okay. Look, we know we're getting the most money. That's all I care about. And that's all you should care about. They need to modify it a little bit. Do you want them to cut people's paycheck, or do you want them to modify it a little bit so it works better for maximum payout? I want them to modify it a little bit to give maximum payout. That's what I want them to do. Okay, and that's what they've been doing. They've been fine-tuning their comp plan so they can have maximum payout and adding some reward points to it, the loyalty points. Okay, so that's a new addition. Okay, to handle, like, let's say if you were a copper and you only had 800 points here in a pay week and you had a strong side and you're a copper, or let's say this next week it was a real slow week, it's Christmas, whatever, you didn't have a lot of duplication, and then you're a bronze, but you had 1,800 points come up, okay? And you had 1,000 points come up. Just for illustration, that's what came up Christmas week, okay? We admit that'd be a slow week. Okay. So, okay, you got 1,000 points come up here, 1,800 come up over here, and you're a bronze, so you can make 2,000. So we want to see how this really works. Okay, well, you don't have enough for 2,000 here, do you? You got enough for what? 3 cycles.
Right.
That's enough for $1,500. Check. Coming to you in commission. Well, they'll take that, they'll subtract that out, all 1,500 you get as a check, and that 300 balance goes down here into your loyalty.
Put you at 1,500
Points. Put you at 1,500. So that's when you don't earn enough to get your qualified cycle check, then they will give you those in loyalty points. But if you get enough, if you have enough, you got a lot more than you got qualified for, they go away. They go away because that's your incentive to do what? Rank up. Help somebody else rank up. Help you rank up. That's your motivation. You want a paycheck raise? Go to work. Okay, that's called motivation. People helping people. Okay, now, that basically is the comp plan. What do? You keep doing the same thing. If you want to rank up to silver, then you got to help one of the persons you personally sponsored become a bronze, and one of the persons you personally sponsored on the right side become a bronze, and you have to have 5 personally sponsored people that are active on your left and 5 on your right.
So that means that
Then you're
have got
silver.
so that means that you have got to actually get 2 more for each side.
You actually have to get 5 of your own personally sponsored people on each side. They came to your website, they signed up on your website, and you placed them, left or right. And then you will qualify to be a silver like George and I. Now, what that means is we're qualified to make $3,500 a week. Doesn't mean that we're making $3,500.
Right.
But there are some silvers that are making $3,500. In fact, they could make more, but they just hadn't ranked up to the next rank yet. Okay, they got enough volume coming up. Okay, but if we got volume coming up, we'll make that check. Okay, now, if we don't, we're going to make as much cycles as we can, and then what remainder that didn't cycle, we're going to go to loyalty points. That's simple. Oh, if you want to become a gold, you help a person become a silver on your left that you personally sponsored. You help a person to become a silver on your right that you personally sponsored. And you sponsor 3 more people. You have to have 8 actives on your left and 8 actives on. But look, if you're making this kind of money and you know that gold and silver is the right thing to do, aren't you talking gold and silver to everybody you meet and everybody you see?
Should be.
You should be. And there, look how many people there are. I mean, 8 people. Look, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Very first business I did back in the 90s, I personally sponsored 138 people. Now, I didn't personally sponsor 138 people the first week or the first month, but after I started making $6,600 every single solitary week or more, it got pretty easy to go somewhere and sponsor somebody. So just about everywhere I went, I could sponsor somebody. So I had them sprinkled all over the United States. You understand? I actually personally sponsored a lot more than 138 people. I just gave them to some of my people in other places. I just let them sponsor under them because they were the leaders. Okay? But I don't recommend that in building because you got to teach people how to fish. You don't feed them fish, otherwise they just come, I'm hungry, fish. Works right, huh, Mike? Okay, let me tell you what it means to this, what it means here for you long term. And I'm going to kind of erase it and bring it to a bigger view here. If you notice, this is the law of exponential expansion. So we could do, you get your partner the first day, the first month, and you got your 2. Don't worry if you're not getting them real quick, because here's the second month, and if you're only half as good as you got 4. 1 on the left, 2 on the right. 2 on the left, 2 on the right. And the next month you got 8. And the next month you got 16. Now, you still have only made 1 check, maybe. Okay? The next month you got 32 on your team, 16 on each side. Next month, you got 64. Next month, 128. Next month, 256. Next month, 512. That's 9 months. Well, let's change this because that's what I did. I literally did that in 1996. 12 months, I had 5,000 people. Over 5,000 people in my teams. Now, and you can do it too. Why? I got with a company that was 2 years old. And nobody really had ever heard of it. So, I was just the advertiser of it. And our team was just the advertiser of it. Just like we are the advertiser for 7K Metals. Okay? Now, I want to just take it for those who don't believe they can, these things don't work for them. I'm going to tell you it does if you allow it to work for you. Because we're going to turn this into years. So what if it takes you 9 years, 10 years, let's say 10 years, and you got 500 people on this team. You did 1 and 1, right? You did. That's all you did. 1 and 1. You couldn't find anybody else, but you got 1 on the left, 1 on the right. Then your team is 500 people on the left and 500 people on the right, and let's say all of them are buying a coin of the month. And let's do the average. You've got 15, 20, 30. Let's just use 20 points for easy math. 20 points times 500 is what? 10,000 points, right?
Yep.
How many weeks in a month?
4 usually.
Oh, that means I can divide 4 into 10,000. That'd be 2,500 points. Every week, 2,500 points come up in these calendars. Is that enough to make a $500 check every week for the rest of your life?
Could be.
Well, that's what I mean about this person that gets in that's a customer. And let's say this develops and they're buying their coin of the month every month, and you got 500 people on this team over here where they all came in with what? Well, let's do an average of 100 points. 500 times 100 is what? $50,000 in there. Now, this took years, so a lot of people bought a lot of those coins every month. One person buying a coin every month is 240 points on average, right? Let's just round it down to 200. 200 times 500 people
Is 100,000.
Oh, wait a minute. That's 100,000. That's even more than coming in, right? So you got $150,000 in your bank account, but you got 0 over here. Nope, doesn't have 0. Why? every time they bought a coin of the month,
Oh, it went to their week.
it went to their weak side. This company pays you points for the product you buy to keep your business open. No other business I know of ever does that. Nowhere. Okay? So now you're building up points over here. And so now you might decide you might want to share this with somebody. And if you just share it with one person, and they get over here, and they start making one check, they sponsor a person on their left, person on their right, and when they get to making 500 points on their left and 500 points on their right, 1,000 points will come up here into your counter. So if it comes up slowly, as they're doing it, you could make 2 $500 checks if you sponsor one person over here and one person over here. How many people would sponsor their spouse or their child to start buying some gold and silver? You see what I mean? So, if you're just smart enough to get in the way of people who are successful, you can be successful too. That's the moral of this story. If you're fortunate enough to have been told about this, get in, stay in, learn, and do what it takes to build this business. As you accumulate a little bit of real wealth for you, you can become enormously wealthy. And then you can pass it on to your children. Okay, because it becomes valuable. Well, I'm not going to go to the next two levels, because let's just get the goal first at 7,000 a week. 7,000 a week is really nice. So when you get the goal, I'll teach you how you can get to 10,000 a week, and then I can teach you how to get to $12,500 a week with that complex. But let's just get the goal first, okay? And you know, you might be like some of those people up in Idaho that got in. They got in. They were first ones in. And I know a few people got 1,000,000 points on one side. Man. But you know, they just plumb happy with making their copper, and they're making $1,000 every week, and they just plumb happy. They don't have to work. They got money coming in, more money than they had coming in when they were working. And just think, one day they might meet somebody else and they sponsor them, and then they become a bronze, and now they automatically get a pay raise to $2,000 a week. They doubled their salary. So if ever they want to go to work, but they're enjoying life too much. They're up in God's country, all those beautiful mountains, all those beautiful glaciers, all those beautiful, they're just enjoying life now.
Sure.
Because they've been having to work all their lives, right? Those potato farmers. Well, I hope you understand the magnitude of this compensation plan. And if you don't, make sure you sit down with your sponsor, you get on a Zoom with me, you until you understand this. And if it takes you 2 years to understand what I just said there, keep watching this video until you do understand it. Because you will never ever in your life have an opportunity to create a residual income while you're building wealth and accumulating wealth for yourself at the lowest possible cost. It's a no-risk deal. The only risk is not doing this and not learning how. Not giving yourself the chance you deserve to succeed. The chance you deserve to be financially independent. The chance you deserve to teach your children's children how to be financially independent, how to be debt-free, and how to have their wealth protected regardless of what economic circumstances happen beyond their control. Thank you for your time and attention.
I really hope you found this video useful. Thanks a lot for watching.